Alright, so this is the next day. Looks better. The wood dried out, so it definitely looks a lot better. You can definitely tell the difference now. I'm starting to replace some of these boards now. So that's 5 in. I got 7 more to go throughout here, getting all these out. But yeah, you can definitely see the difference now compared to yesterday. Yesterday it was still wet, so the railings and everything came out pretty good. There's still some spots like in here. It's kind of hard to get in there, but I think it's good enough for now for stain. I know I'm supposed to let these dry out before I stain them, but if it comes off, then I'll just hit it again next year. I just want to get everything even. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep going, moving these out. The screws they used to put this deck together, pretty much they're all breaking. And they weren't even long enough. I got 2 1/4. These look like they're 1 1/4. They barely even go into the wood, so which is good because it makes it really easy to get the old ones out. But so, all right, let's get the rest of these done. I'll show you the finished product, and then we'll get on to staining in the next couple days. It's got to warm up a little bit. It's only like 50 degrees today, so I gotta let it warm up a little bit. And that's it. To show how bad these are, this had one newer type of screw in it, and it just broke. So like super easy. I should have filmed how easy that was to break. This wood is shot. Like, I can lift this whole board up. This is a 12-foot board. I can lift it up with one hand, like nothing. It's so light, dry rotted. It's pretty bad. Like, if I just push on this, I could probably break it. But it's a good thing I'm doing this. You never know. Walk on your deck and see how it just broke. All right. Get all this cleaned up. So these are in. I just also want to point out, disclaimer, I'm not a contractor. I'm gonna throw these screws in. Gave me these Scorpion ceramic coated, 2 1/4. Yeah, 2 1/4. So compared on a full screw that didn't break, compared to what was in there, I'm gonna say that those should work a little better. You know, also, like, most of them broke anyway, so taking them out. So that should definitely be a lot better. Heavier wood, actually solid wood, new screws. And what I'm also going to be doing is taking out the middle pedestal, because I can move this pretty, I don't like it. So I'm taking out the middle pedestal and I'm going to replace it with a, same thing over here, replace it with a pressure treated 2x4. I mean, it's probably not the cleanest that I can do it, but it's going to be the quickest, and I'm going to use carriage bolts and double up the frame, but I'll show you. Getting this as clean as possible. There's a lot of stuff all jacked up in there. This one was really hard to get out, so hopefully the next one fits in there. That's for Snapchat. Alright, I'm having a real problem. These boards, these last couple of ones, were all warped in the middle. So it's pushing everything over, so I had to loosen all of these to get everything to kind of shift over. Yet still, I just can't get this in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this board over here, and I'm gonna take just like a 1/4 inch off on the table saw and see if that gives me enough to at least get these other ones in. Was not expecting this, but hopefully I should be able to do it. And if it's just a 1/4 inch, I shouldn't lose the rounded edge that much. I'll lose some of it, but it shouldn't be that noticeable. Alright, so what I had to end up doing, because I was going to cut that's a stupid idea. So I had to take all the screws back out of everything that was either already fastened a couple years ago, and what I just did today. Same thing over here. I took all those boards out, loosened them up so I could fit that in. And what I ended up doing was cutting this end piece on the table saw. And then I found a huge problem because I had to end up cutting that down a lot more. What did I end up cutting that down to? I think that's 4 3/4. So I took about 3/4 of an inch off of the board. But what I ended up doing was actually separating that. I think I'm good now. But that's not good light. My neighbors are looking at me. But right there, this whole front piece separated out. So I'm gonna beat that back in. Hopefully it should be good. I got some gaps. What's killing me is this wood's just warped just enough, and then each piece just compounds on the last one. So I'm gonna beat that in there. I got some galvanized nails. Throw a couple in there, each on the end. Then we should be good. And then I just gotta put 10,000 nails, 10,000 screws down. So yeah, definitely, if you're doing something like this, start from the end and go all the way down. Don't fasten anything down until you're sure that everything fits. I'm sure there's supposed to be some sort of, gap. There is nothing. There's no gap. It's gonna be a nice smooth surface. Hopefully I don't have any problems with drainage or anything like that. But like I said, it should shrink back up. Everything's wet still. But let me put all these screws back in. I only got a pound of screws. I don't think it was enough. I didn't do the math right, because I definitely need like 200 screws, and that's not enough. All right. Alright, so I'll probably call it quits for today. I'm going to get all these screws in. Tomorrow morning I'm going to get onto the the 2 railing reinforcements. Middle of that one, middle of this one. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do like a whole part series, and then like I said, I'm gonna stain this even though you're not supposed to, but I just want it to look good for next year. All right, been out here lily dallying with this all day, so I gotta get these screws in. My daughter's gonna be home from school in a little bit, so I gotta cook some dinner. See you later. Nice. The next morning, I went and got more screws because I ran out. So I'll put all the screws back in here. I already removed the middle banisters out of here, and we're gonna quickly put in a new with some lag bolts and actually carriage bolts, I'm sorry. And so these railings are going to be a little more secure. Yeah, I gotta do it quick. My daughter has a half day today, so I gotta get all this done before 11:30. So let's go. So what I did is I'm just matching the angle on the banisters, which ended up being 45. And I'm just replacing the banister like that. So doesn't stand out too much, looks good. It'll be a lot more secure. So I gotta reinforce the back part, and kind of screwed up here. I meant for this to be the side that you see in the inside of the deck, and I did the cut backwards, so now I'm gonna see this, whatever. It is what it is. Not everything can be perfect. Alright. So what I did, this is underneath the deck, is I secured a 2x6, scrap 2x6 I had, screwed them in from the sides. Alright, so this is secured to whatever you call them, trusses. Trusses are for roofs, I don't know. So here, found the center. I threw 1 screw in there just to hold it there, make sure it's level, drill the holes. These are 3/8 carriage bolts. Went right through, careful with the top. I almost didn't leave myself enough room for the washer. What's funny though is, yeah, that's not gonna work. All right, so I gotta go back and get the right bolt. When I was talking to the guy originally, we were gonna go with a thicker bolt, but I opted for the smaller 3/8. I guess he just kept the other nut, so I gotta go get the nut. But all in all, that looks pretty good, I think. I thought it was gonna look stupid, but because it matches, that's gonna be a lot more solid. Throw a couple screws in the top there, and then we should be good to go. Alright, but that's going to conclude today. I'm going to try to put a bunch of screws in the boards up top, but I got to go get my daughter in 20 minutes. So that, all in all, that took me about a half hour. So that's not too bad. Alright, so next video would be, I'm going to be staining. Alright, have a nice day. So here's the color we did. It's like a gray. And I'm going with, what was it, Valspar. I was going to do the Bear, but the Bear actually was, required 2 coats. I got a couple spots that I want to go over. The banisters take forever. It's crazy. Luckily I had some help, and they were able to do most of this for me while I did the outside. But that's how it came out. This really crappy wood kind of looks like composite now, but compared to like the color of the house, it came out a little blue. It's actually midnight gray. I just want to show you the wood. So the underneath, this is the underneath part. That was the color. So I just like noticed it now. After like the treatment, the stuff turned like white. So still has the lichen on there. It's dead though. Comes right off. Yeah, that's what it would have looked like. So even on old wood. But taking this to the dump now. This was what it looks like. I gotta do a couple coats, a couple spots here and there on the banisters and everything like that. This gray is kind of blue, but it's fine. It's sealed. It's the first time it's probably ever been painted in, God knows, 20 years. And that's the finished product.